Antonio Brown's number 1. Who's number 2?
I'm going with Julio Jones. I think this is the year. It's not a breakout year. He's already broken out, but he hasn't put up that big touchdown number yet, Akbar. Last year, he only had 6. But this is a guy who had 163 targets in 15 games last year. And he started to show signs of being that elite wide receiver that Atlanta traded up to draft a few years ago. The Falcons, this is a team that throws the ball to the wide receivers a lot. In fact, 68% of their completions last year went to wideouts, and Kyle Shanahan's offense is conducive to wide receivers finding success in that X position. Pierre Garçon, Andre Johnson, we've seen it before. Jones is my number 2 wide receiver, and he could be number 1 at the end of this year.
Well, I think the decline of Peyton Manning for me has been grossly exaggerated. I think that number 2 guy has to be Demaryius Thomas. And I think people hear Peyton Manning think, oh, well, he's on the decline. Demaryius Thomas numbers are going to go down. I don't think that's going to be true. We saw what he did last year when Peyton Manning was supposed to be old and on the decline. Anyways, they talked about it. Look, the guy put up, a franchise record last year, 1,600 plus yards. He was second in the league as far as fantasy points for wide receivers. There's no reason why anyone could tell me that even with Peyton Manning on the, and I'm putting it in quotation marks, you just can't see me because there's B-roll rolling, but in quotation mark on the decline, that he's still better than Tim Tebow, and he's still balling out when he had Tim Tebow at his quarterback. So don't tell me Demaryius Thomas isn't the second best receiver behind Antonio Brown.
And those conversations were happening last year as well, and granted, they did tail off dramatically, Peyton Manning's numbers, but still, you saw the numbers there, 229 points for Demaryius Thomas, tied for second, and understand when you see that Dez Bryant, as you'll watch him perform last year in 2014, it'll say he was the 4th leading receiver. Well, he was 1.2 points behind those that were tied for second place. So saying that he's going to be the second best receiver isn't all that much of a reach. I know the big concern is that without DeMarco Murray, this offense is not going to look the same. You're right. It's going to be more of a passing offense, which means you're going to watch a lot more of this. Look, Dez, you cannot single cover him. You cannot even double cover him. He is so good at going up and getting the ball. He is the most physical of all the receivers out there. So when you get into these red zone situations, no one's better at shedding cornerbacks or safeties. And again, no one's better at going up and getting that deep ball. That's why, given my choice, I would take Dez. Now, I would take Antonio Brown first, but I would take Dez second off the board.